Wrestlers, wrestling fans, this is the All About Wrestling podcast. We are here where we talk about everything wrestling and other impact sports. Today we have a special guest. Cash Money Simon is in the building. We're also talking about wrestling stables. Who are the greatest wrestling stables of all time? And we have other topics to touch on. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more episodes like this. But for exclusive member benefits, make sure you hit the join button. I'm joined as always by my beautiful co-host, the one, the only, Mi Amor. Mi Amor, take it away.
Hello. Hey, we have Cash Money Simon in the house, live from the 215. It is so nice to have you.
It's my privilege to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
It's always our pleasure. And we have a lot to talk about today. So, Bobby, what's going on over there?
Yes.
Look at you.
Hey, you like the new glasses?
Cool glasses.
Like the glasses,
yes.
Nice little look there.
Yeah.
We gotta try something
Hold
different.
Up, come look. Okay, I'm just looking at myself. No swing. I was gonna say you look good, but I was looking at myself.
Oh,
I'm just
God.
playing.
So we're here with Cash Money Simon. Sir, such a pleasure to have you on. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good on this Sunday evening. Just getting ready for the rest of the week and get ready to train more and do more of what we can do, what we do best in wrestling.
Right. So you are a wrestling manager for the Bonnet Club.
That is correct.
We've had several experiences with the Bonnet Club, their energy, and then we saw you walk out, and you bring a whole nother element to it. And tell us about the Bonnet Club, the members, what they represent.
Okay. It's more than what you see as far as with the members. I only saw two of them. That would be as far as Injuttable and James Gray. I was already managing as far as Injuttable already. So once he came on with the Bonnet Club, I just followed right on in. So everything worked out accordingly. Now I had to go ahead and try to do what I had to do to try to make the switch and make the switch look kind of like I belong there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, you look like you belong there to me. You fit perfectly right in with the crew, and you guys just mesh well. I think it's an amazing group, and the personalities are great. So definitely a good mix.
Oh, yeah. When you get the Bonnet Club and you get money involved,
And the
cash
energy
money,
and the vibes, and y'all just
Yeah.
having a party,
just
huh?
about to have fun. About to have fun.
Yes.
So that's what's up. So you've been in wrestling for some time. How did you start out in wrestling, and what inspired you to actually get into the sport of wrestling?
As a child, I grew up watching WWF. Me and my brother used to always go at it, wrestle each other. I never imagined after 40 years of doing that, now I'm in the business, I got talked into it by Darren, Old Dog. People might know him as Ron Starr, actually. Was having something, and I actually knew his brother. I went to school with his brother in high school. So we kind of connected. I was a big fan of Ron, even back then. So, but that was the big Ron Starr. Now the Ron Starr I know now, he's small now, so smaller than me. So, but so he got me involved. Then it went to school, trained, still training, never stopped training, never stopped learning. And ever since then, I started that, man, and supposed to start as a referee at first, and made the switch over to. I said, well, I got a character in mind, and then we just fell with it.
Right.
Darren went ahead and went with it. We went with it, followed it, and it was going well. It still is.
Right. That's good stuff. Folks, we're going to have a lot to ask Cash Money Simon. You got any questions in the live chat, make sure you put them up there so we can ask him. He'll be with us all show. We got major topics to talk about. But again, for more episodes like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. For exclusive membership benefits, make sure you hit the join button. All right. So a lot has happened this week in the world of wrestling. One of the main stories that I did want to touch on was Sunny, all right, or Tammy Sytch, a.k.a. Sunny, former manager of WWE. All right, so she's been involved in a fatal 3-car crash, faces possible criminal charges. This is not her first brush with the law. What are your thoughts about not only Sonny, but for anyone that may potentially be involved in some type of alcohol-related crash? What are your thoughts about that?
So Alcoholics Anonymous. Just saying. I mean, this has been a topic that we've discussed before, and we were talking about one of the sponsors that we had ran into during our events called what was it called?
It was Wrestling and Recovery.
Wrestling and Recovery.
Right.
The recovery was with a W.
Right.
Because for this reason, people in the industry sometimes, unfortunately end up like this. And it's because of maybe it was the life that they were going through, the life that they were handed, just part of the, I don't know, it just happens. Part of the, come on, what am I looking for? Look, give me some words. Part of the fame, part of the spotlight, part of being in that profession of wrestling or being a celebrity or whatever the case is, right. It's a fast life, and you're on the road all the time. You're not seeing your family. You're not seeing your friends. You're dealing with a whole bunch of different emotions. You're stressed out. You're not sleeping. You're not eating. You're working, and it's unfortunate, and like anyone, just because she is a celebrity, she gets put in the spotlight.
Right.
If it was a normal person, we wouldn't even have this information right now.
Exactly.
So,
very true.
Exactly.
So take it easy. She hopefully, I wish her the best. This is a crazy accident here. It's really sad for the person who lost their life. But yeah. Hopefully she gets the help that she needs,
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let me throw this question at Cash Money Simon. So you've been in the sport. We all know from experience, from what we've seen on TV, as well as probably your own personal experiences, alcoholism,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of vices that wrestlers may turn to.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about, not only Tammy Lynn, but for anyone else that might be involved in something like this?
Well, first of all, you got to take self-responsibility. Before you get behind the wheel of a vehicle or before you do anything, if you're under the influence, either alcohol or drugs, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it worth the cost? Unfortunately, on this accident, people lost their lives, and they can never go back to their loved ones, all because of someone made a mistake without thinking. Maybe they did thought about it. Maybe they thought that everything was going to be all right. But they realized that because of a habit. So before I became who I am, I served time in the Marines, and we had to be responsible for the next person, the next man, or the next woman. So by getting involved in that type of alcohol or drugs or any type of bad habits that we may have had, some had bad habits, you just didn't know about them, or some did, and they came to surface. Unfortunately for her, she's been in that spotlight, and since she's been in that spotlight, it's like she just can't turn it off, and she might still get treated as a celebrity,
right?
And even though she hasn't been in that limelight for God knows how long, but it doesn't make it right. It doesn't give an excuse. So people's lives have lost. So something got to give. I was a big fan of her, but it's a shame that now it's like, she got to take responsibility for this. When is enough is enough. She's been in and out of jail for some of the same things. So when is enough is enough. Now somebody's life is gone. Not a good look.
Very, very true. Very valid points from Cash Money Simon, folks. So if you just joined us, we're definitely talking about the situation that happened with Tammy Lynn Sytch involved in a fatal 3-car crash. So let's move on. Let's switch gears a little bit. All right. So let's see. So we're talking about Tammy Lynn Sytch, but let's move on to our stables. All right.
Yes, let's move on, Bobby.
Let's move on. So we did manage to have some polls. Brody King if you were watching this week in the past few weeks, especially after WrestleMania, Edge has created a stable. All right, so Edge's new stable, it's a dark stable. I love stables. I'm a fan of stables. Brody King of AEW, the House of Black, he made a comment. He states that Brody King says Edge's new stable is the House of Black, but it's ordered from Wish. So that was kind of like a jab. We asked the community, what do you think about Edge's new stable? 36% said it's badass, 21% said it sucks, and 43% said they're curious to see what happens. What do you guys think about this new stable?
We just got to see what happens. Just like any other stable, some can rise and be there for a while, or they can come or it can go. Like I was a fan of many stables, so this stable here that he's trying to put together, who knows how many members he's going to have. So far, all we know is what? Just 2 members of the stable?
Right.
So we haven't got a third person or a fourth person yet. So it just in due time, we got to see where it goes, what kind of storyline going to be put together with them. Are they going to be more effective than the ones in the past? Or are they going to just be some kind of lame that's going to come and go and fly by night?
Right.
So as for Edge, I don't know how much time do he got?
Hey, that's what we said in the beginning.
I'm just being honest here,
I like it. I like to see that. Well, we already talked about Edge being, as old as he is and still doing his thing. And kind of like when he's in the ring, I kind of cringe a little bit just to think like, oh, I hope he doesn't get hurt today,
Exactly.
But I think it's a good storyline. I think I really want to see where this is going. So I like it.
I hope their creative team, put something together for them.
I hope so too.
Because
I'm really looking forward to it, though. I would like to see what Edge has to offer us.
Like the gold standard.
Yeah.
They just let that go.
Yeah, that was bad.
And now they got an MVP turned against Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
That don't make any sense.
It don't make sense.
They could have added almost.
It's kind of like, I feel like there's always like,
they could have added him.
With storylines.
Yeah.
Like, it's either make it or break it. Like, there's no in between.
Yeah. I was a big fan of you talking about the Hurt Business, right?
Yeah, the Hurt Business. I call it the Gold Standard.
Yeah.
I was so angry
true.
when they broke them up. I was so angry. Me, I'm more tight. I was so angry, and the guys that you watch the videos, I was so angry. I was like, why? And then you had MVP, who's probably one of his greatest managing stints ever.
Exactly.
And then you separate him from the person that he was good with. So I just don't understand it. If you could give us your thought on, I guess, the greatest stable, in your opinion, what's the greatest stable that ever existed, in your opinion?
The greatest stable that ever existed would have to be the Four Horsemen.
Oh, man.
It was just well put together. They caught a lot of heat. But the funny part about it, when they came to our area, they were fan favorites.
Mm-hmm.
They were hated as far as elsewhere, but when they came to our area, they were fan favorites. I even heard on an episode of Tully Blanchard telling the story when he goes to the airport, people was putting the Four Horsemen sign up, as a sign of respect, that they actually respect the horsemen. But horsemen this was all horseman country. That's the Philadelphia area.
Yeah.
So, and me being a child watching that, of course, I was always want to cheer for the face. But then knowing that the Hill, like, wow, these guys actually doing something. They hurting people. And
right.
How many times they going to put Dusty Rhodes, far as me, on breaking bones on him. So that was one of the top. Now, to be the superior of a stable will have to be the NWO.
Oh, man. That's so it's so funny because I put that question on Instagram. Mm-hmm. These are the answers that I got, and one of the first ones I'm gonna mention is mine of AK. I said, what's the greatest wrestling stable? He had NWO / Horseman, Wrestle God, Horseman / Heart Foundation. We had Erica Love Lee, LWO. Then you have DX, Minister Kid, Woodford Damien, DX, Akash SP 76, DX, Ministry of Darkness, NWO. I said NWO myself, only because of if I had to choose one, because the Horseman was great. I actually got to experience part of the Horseman growing up. But in terms of star power and the impact that the NWO had on the wrestling business, I would have said the NWO. More, if you could think of a wrestling stable, a group of great wrestlers that you like, or you would say was your favorite, who would you pick?
I would say Team Bad with
Bad.
Sasha Banks, Naomi Campbell, and what's her name? The one with the T?
Tamina?
Tamina.
Okay. Naomi.
Just to be on the women's side, I got to choose women. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Well, they did have the 4 horsewomen.
Yeah, he did.
They did.
But they never really pushed it to the main. That would have, man. It's not
Which
too late.
was like, what's her name?
Are you talking about Sasha, Charlotte?
Was that the horsewoman?
Yeah, it was
Sasha, Charlotte,
Becky Lynch, and Bailey.
That's
Bailey.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And they all became world champions.
How about that?
Yeah, it all became world champions. I don't think Charlotte became a tag champ.
No. Maybe she don't work well with others.
No, I don't think she does either.
No, she doesn't. I agree. She's definitely a loner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, folks, if you're joining us, we got Cash Money Simon in the building.
Cash Money Simon live from the 215.
Right. All right. So here's a question. WWE or AEW?
Good question.
Good question.
Had to be a toss-up. Because now, AEW, when they first came out, they was on fire. Still on fire. Certain matches, you see the same type of wrestlers that you see in WWE. So, and they getting a little bit more fire, a little bit more push. So, in WWE, they famous for the Hall of Fame and WrestleMania, The Undertaker, and all those that came through there.
They're legendary.
I'm going to go on the edge here. I'm going to go with AEW.
Oh.
Wow.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right. Miyamura?
Nothing wrong with that. I have a question. When did you debut?
I debuted. Oh, wow. Good question on that one. October 2020.
Oh, okay. Pretty fresh.
Pretty fresh.
What was one of your favorite wrestlers of all time?
All times. My favorite wrestler was Bob Backlund.
Okay.
Very technical. He can brawl if he had to, but he knew how to wrestle. That's what I enjoyed, the fact of wrestling. Getting those techniques, getting those moves in, and he just seems to always beat the bigger man. So it was more than just being, and he was strong as an ox. If I go back and look at his training and what he did, he didn't look strong, but he was.
Right.
He's just one of those type of guys that he can just toss you over his head, and with no problem. Even today, he's still at that point, So, but growing up, not only him being the world champion at that time, I admired his skill set. I kind of missed the territories because they used to always wrestle the NWA champions.
Right.
So, and that made wrestling as far as what it is now. You only got a handful of promotions that's actually going to give you that dollar sign, So, besides the indies, you got indies all over the place.
Right.
But as far as like the WWE, it used to be WWE, WCW, TNA didn't even kick out yet. It was also Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Jim Cornette was trying to get that started and running and everything. And once again, small promotion, but had big names. Yeah, it's just one of those type of deals of who gonna be your top guy, and can your top guy put butts in the seats.
Right.
So that's basically what it comes down to. And also, is he that skillful of a wrestler? Like, he didn't have no type of gimmick. He was just a straight edge wrestler, you know. Just hearing from different people from back in that era, like on Superstar Billy Graham, and even Don Morocco even said he didn't even hang out, you know, after the matches. He would just go right back to his room, or still, you know, went back to training. He didn't go to bars, you know. So
Just took it serious.
yeah. So like guys like Ric Flair, they was getting drunk, you know.
And I have a question to like completely go off subject. So you said you're an AEW fan, so I want to ask you this. What do you think about Tay Conti and Sammy Guevara and all this scandalous publicity that they're getting, and as just a celebrity, you know, a new celebrity wrestling couple?
It's the attention scan.
Right.
It's the attention. It's about to see who's going to look, who's going to look at them, who's going to see what's going to happen, what's going to be their next move, what's going to happen next. That's basically what wrestling is all about. What's going to happen next?
Right.
So if you enjoyed what they did, okay, now what's going to happen next? It's like watching an episode of Power. Okay, I enjoyed this episode. So what's going to happen next? I can't wait.
Yeah.
So
We got a power fan over here, guys.
we got a Power fan. If you listen over there, 50, I mean, I'm still available.
He is still available. It will soon be available on our booking platform.
That's right. Nah,
Awesome.
She's spilling the beans here. Spilling some
Uh-oh.
beans here.
I'm giving you guys a little bit of teaser.
All right. So that's interesting what you said, because for a time, Yamor had thought that she had brought up this idea that the whole situation with Sammy Guevara and his ex-girlfriend could have been a story.
Yes.
It could have been a story where, all right, you know, they're a couple, and then they break up, and then he ends up dating Tay Conti. And then it happens so fast, and then there's all of this publicity on social media, and there's pictures of them kissing left and right, and then the fans got really invested into it emotionally.
Exactly.
Started posting negative comments, and then the ex-girlfriend was quick to come in and say, "Whoa, wait, it's not like that."
Yeah.
And then it just made me start thinking, and so many things happen in behind the scenes in wrestling.
Well, are you? Hold on. Let's pump your brakes there. Are you admitting that you just could have been wrong?
Yeah, I'm
Oh my
Why not?
goodness!
Why not?
To what do I owe the honor?
Oh man, you put me on the spot now. I'm wrong sometimes.
Oh my God, I have to do this. You know, us women, we have to, you know, put the man on the spot sometimes because they're always right.
That's not true.
Well,
That's
she
not
should have
true.
really should have stayed quiet and just let it ride. And then now she's spilling the beans,
Right.
you know.
Right.
That wasn't supposed to come out.
Yeah,
that way.
yeah,
And now
see?
she's spilling the beans, and it's like, well, okay. She's trying to get the heat off. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
they're supposed to get the heat.
Right.
That's the whole
Right.
point
Right.
of it.
Yeah.
So, and she just spilled the beans. Now they probably got to do a different storyline.
Yeah. But they are getting a lot of traction. With whatever's going on, we're all emotionally
Well, they are a
invested into
good-looking
it.
couple, and they're all over social media. So, I mean, what reaction do they expect to get?
Right.
I mean, if people talk about the Kardashians, you know, they're going to talk about Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti.
Right.
Something to talk about, you know? Everyone wants that. Do you have anything else you want to talk about, Bobby?
I do. So I do want to talk about this list. So I went to Goliath.com and I got a list of the 12 greatest wrestling stables in history. This is according to Goliath.com. All right, I want to see Cash Money Simon's thoughts in reference to this list. So whether you agree with it, not agree with it, I thought some people that are on this list, some groups are they should be on this list, but then I thought some shouldn't be where they were. Number 12, we have the Corporation. 11, the Hart Foundation. Number 10, we have the Fabulous Freebirds. Number 9, the Heenan family. And then at number 8, they had the Bullet Club on the list. 7, they had the Shield. Number 6, they had the Dangerous Alliance. Number 5, the Nation of Domination. And then number 4, they had Evolution. Great group. I think they should be number 4 now. Then number 3, they had the Horsemen, the 4 Horsemen. Number 2, DX, the Generation X. And then number 1, they had the New World Order, number 1. So I just want to get your thoughts on this list. Of course, this is somebody else's list. But
The order, I'm not liking the order.
Right.
You know, yes, the Freebirds will actually be number 1.
Mm.
You know, then you're looking at it, then the 4 Horsemen would have been number 2. The Heenan family was definitely number 3, at least the top 5. Then you have the Dangerous Alliance. See, the Hart Foundation was there, but they wasn't. That was a tag team starting out.
Right,
So
right.
you couldn't really call them a faction or a stable.
They just
Until
threw people
at
in
the
there.
end, when everybody came in, Owen came in, the British Bulldog, even Brian Pillman came in.
Right.
So that's the only way that came towards the end, like with the I want to say really after the Corporation.
Yeah.
The Nation Denomination was a good strong unit. See, most of these didn't last long.
They didn't. It was an idea. And
Exactly.
Right.
So it didn't last long. So the ones that didn't last long, I don't even count them as a stable. If their storyline didn't stretch out for at least a year, then how are you supposed to know who's who? You know, and after that, but yeah, the Bullet Club did some stuff over there down in TNA. Evolution, of course. You had Ric Flair coming out. That's basically like a defective of the 4 Horsemen.
Yeah.
You know, so that's basically what that was. And they just need to have a name for them. And the Generation X was right there next, at first, neck and neck with the NWO. So, but NWO took over. They even came from one to the next. They left from WCW and came over to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And then went back.
And went back, exactly. So, but that was actually the start for D-Generation Next, believe it or not. They was already NWO members. So that was basically like a rub off or like a side or like a what I want to say, like a subgroup.
Yeah, pretty much.
So all the members was all doing this. You know, they was all doing the same type little sign.
click.
So that's basically what that came from, and that came from the over in Madison Square Garden when they did the curtain call.
Mm-hmm.
So you knew something. You know, now they went ahead and broke characters and everything.
That was messed up.
Oh yeah. And then it's funny you brought that up because Triple H, if he would have been somebody else, he would have been fired. And he would have never been married to Stephanie. None of that would have came through. So it's like, wow, well, now.
Oh, he just must have been in the right place at the right time.
Actually, he got, he was used as a jobber after that.
Oh, really?
They came hard on him.
Oh, wow.
You know, he probably said, I'm sorry, kissing up and all that.
He looks like he was good at doing that back in the day.
But he got in with the boss's daughter, even though he had China. That's a whole nother story.
Oh my God,
So,
that is a whole other story. Like my thing was like, how did you go from China to Stephanie?
well, he was already dealing with her. And then it came to the light to the point where what we're going to
Crazy.
do with China.
That's messed up, yo.
Yeah,
She
but-
was in love with that man.
And she should have had her own Hall of Fame.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just saying.
She
She
should
should
have.
have.
You know what? It's not too late. I can see it happening. With everything changing the way it is and people, the burned bridges are being rebuilt. We see a
Exactly.
lot of this going on right now.
Exactly.
A lot of people getting put in the Hall of Fame that you, like Vader.
Yeah.
Vader had bad blood with members of the clique, Shawn Michaels, disrespect with people in the back. And lo and behold, I mean, of course, he did it when he wasn't here anymore. But
Yeah. Well, they said Shawn Michaels was a problem in the back.
yep,
You know, he the reason why Coco Beware got fired. You know, and he should have been in the Hall of Fame. They didn't even push him; they kept him at a mid-level. So I mean, all that talent was just sitting there.
right,
You know, and they had a whole lot of talent. They just didn't know what to do with it. And all they had to do is just sit back. It's a lot of people that should be going to this Hall of Fame. I mean, I can name a lot of teams, but I can tell you one team on just in particular, Demolition.
mm-hmm.
What's up? Why they not going to Hall of Fame? Is it heat between them and Vince? Come on, cut that out. It's about their professionalism in the ring. What they did, they made you money.
Right.
You know, why not? They well known, you know, Axe, Mad Superstar, Smash, Crusher Khrushchev.
Yeah.
Who else he was? He was something else also. It was on the tip of my tongue. They made a fool out of him on that one. Oh my God, he was something else. What's that name? It's on the tip of my tongue. He wore like a hamburger mask.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was. They put him in this. Oh my God, I'm trying to remember
I
the
kind of
name.
have an idea of like what he's talking about, but I don't like. I can't come up with the name.
Oh my God, he was like I forgot the name. He wore this gray suit. And it just made a fool out of him. I'm like, oh my God! And they really made a fool out of what's called the Red Rooster,
Yeah.
Terry Taylor.
Terry Taylor.
He had a name. He was reckonable. You knew who he was.
Yep. Yeah, I was. It just squash people.
Yeah.
So what's up next?
All right, so
What do we
let's
have
talk
next?
about.
'Cause I have some things that I want to talk about.
All right. Well, let's do the highlights. We have some highlights from the week. We'll do that first. We'll come back with more. So let's talk about a lot of the stuff that's happened during the week. All right, from Raw to Rampage, a lot has happened throughout the week in wrestling, folks. So first and foremost, Ezekiel. So if you've been missing Elias, you haven't seen where he went. If you saw, Ezekiel came out on Raw. This guy came out. He looked very familiar. I know. I've seen his face. He looks so different now.
Let's show us. Show us what he looks like.
I don't have a picture of it.
Oh man,
But
It's a scene.
it's
it's the same.
It's a scene.
it's a scene.
It's a scene.
Yeah,
Oh my
like
gosh,
it's
I gotta
crazy.
see this guy. I'll look
MVP.
him up real quick.
MVP turns on Lashley. That was a surprise. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I think it's a critical mistake. I didn't want to see that happen at all.
I agree.
Samoa Joe in AEW, he qualifies for the Owen Hart tournament. All right, so that happened during Dynamite.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe is back in the building. Ronda Rousey challenges Charlotte Flair to a I Quit match at WWE Backlash. Raquel Rodriguez now. It's no longer Gonzalez. If you saw SmackDown, her name is completely changed. She got called up to the main roster from NXT. Looks completely different. Looks more. I don't want to get into that. Usos.
What?
Ooh, hold
Can
on.
we rewind back? You say you don't want to get into what?
No, let's just keep it moving.
Really?
The
Are you
Usos,
serious?
the Usos are on a mission to unify the tag team titles. I like this one. All right, so if you saw on SmackDown, Roman Reigns comes through and he says, "I got all the gold, but you're part of the bloodline." I think it's time for you guys to go and unify them tag team titles. And lastly, if you saw Rampage, I saw a very, very, very important and entertaining, exciting match. Wheeler Yuta versus Jon Moxley. Wheeler Yuta fought. He had the fight of his life. Great wrestling match. Blood everywhere. I didn't know that Wheeler Yuta had that much fight in him. But any of these topics you want to touch on, Cash Money?
I want to touch on the Usos with this tag team title situation. I never heard of a company having two world champions, two tag team champions, Now, it's been up that way. I mean, the NWA was like that. They had the national titles. They didn't have the United States. They had the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team titles. But they learned that it's not getting us nowhere. We got too many champions. So they gave Roman Reigns the title. So now he has the Raw title as well with the SmackDown title. So rumor was they was going to combine them into one title. Hopefully, that's going to be the story because it's getting too ridiculous having all these champions run around with title belts and so forth. If that's going to be the case for the Usos, then let it be. But I'm liking the tournament type thing for the titles.
Yeah.
I'm liking that. So let's make that one champion. And you got teams out there that are hungry enough that want to step up. Or the $1 million question is the WWE going to push them?
Right.
So if they're not going to push them, then you're going to see the same result, same storyline. Who's going to do this? I mean, it's so predictable nowadays. It's not even funny. I mean, it's taking all the fun out of my work. So I just want to try to see I want to see some good wrestling. I want to see some people out there. I mean, look at Ricochet, for example. He's very talented. They finally used him right. How long it's going to last? That's the $1 million question. I mean, they didn't know how to use Owen Hart.
Man.
As talented as he was.
One of the greatest
I think
wrestlers.
he was better than his brother.
I agree.
So he did more moves and more high-flying moves. So, but it just got to see how this. I mean, on where this is going to go. You know, you don't got the Road Warriors no more. They gone. You know, they set the path, and even I want to go back to where the AWA had Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig. I'm going to go back to the 80s on that one. And if you didn't watch the AWA, you really didn't know if they actually tag with each other or not. So, and it just got to get one champion. If the Usos are the team to beat, then let that be. But let them earn that. Let them earn that. And they got the skill set to do it. They got the bloodline for sure to do it. That Samoan family is strong. So, who is it? Their great uncles.
Yeah, the NOI family.
Yeah, I mean, Alpha and Sika, that's their great uncles. Prime example. They was going back and forth with Tony Gurria and Rick Martel back in the day. So, very powerful team. So, they definitely got the skill set to do it. I don't see why they couldn't, but let's hold a tournament. Make this thing interesting. You know, let's try to see what the other talent got. Why hold them back? Let's put them out there. I mean, they could be the future. We don't know. We keep putting the same faces up there. We're not going to know who's who. So.
Yeah, Myanmar, what's your thoughts on all of these championship titles being held and carried back and forth to the ring? Like, do you like it, or do you think they should unify most of these titles and just, you know, create more competition?
I definitely think that they need to create some more competition because it's just the same people all the time. Yeah. I don't want to see one person with like 10 belts. I mean, like that's sarcastically speaking, but like it's just getting old.
Yeah, I agree.
But like I said, I think they do have, quite a few storylines going on. So hopefully we see some new things going on. But okay, I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about now.
All right, let's do it.
So I was looking through Instagram and I seen Montez Ford gifted his wife with a boat. His wife is Bianca Belair. And it was the cutest reaction. Oh my God, I love her.
Was that the video you showed me?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was Montez Ford.
Yes, it was Bianca Belair, Montez Ford. And the way she reacted, this is one of the reasons why I love her, because she's so humble and she's so beautiful. She was like, oh my God. She ran towards the boat and then she stopped and then ran back towards him. And she's like, you bought me a fucking boat. Oh my God. Like, that was the cutest thing, because it's like, we forget that, we think of these people as like, celebrities, but they're just regular people. Like, they work hard for this, and they, things like a boat is like, whoa, it's something so huge. So I thought that was so cute.
That's cool.
It's funny you mentioned her name. She's probably the only person I know as a woman wrestler, probably on both ends, as male or female, she was so humble just by getting the push.
Yeah.
You know, and she, you see her, I believe it was last year, WrestleMania, her against Sasha Banks, and the crowd reaction was getting her teared up. She's like, wow, we actually doing it. We actually headlining WrestleMania. That's the Super Bowl of wrestling. So, and just her being so humbled, as you said, I see nothing but good things from her.
Yeah, she's definitely
Very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong. She's stronger than most men.
Mm-hmm.
And she got that gimmick with the hair, the ponytail, and yeah.
Yeah, and she makes her own outfits from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Very inspiring.
Very.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because I thought that was really, really cute.
All right.
Good
So,
man.
your experiences with pro wrestling are Cash Money Simon. I guess what's your best experience, and what do you hope for in the future?
My best experience is just being out with the Bonnet Club. I had to say the last show. I was more involved. You guys were there. You seen it. People didn't even know I can probably throw a punch or not. So did all that, made it happen. I'm just looking forward to the next show. That's basically what wrestling's about. It's about putting butts in the seats and getting ready for the next show.
It's about giving us a good show.
That's it.
And trying not to hurt yourself in the process.
And that happens. Sometimes you go home with this and that, but
I think when you think about the crowd and how like much they're roaring and you're like, oh man, was that really worth it? Yeah, it was worth it.
Because when I first went out with the Bonnet Club on the first show, not the first show, it was the second show. It was amazing because now I'm doing that heel turn to a face turn. And just that crowd reaction, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I can try to get used to this.
Yeah.
You know, and you got the kids yelling and screaming. And as long as they happy, you're going to have a good show. They're going to get mom and dad to keep bringing them back. They enjoying themselves. We having fun. We got the bonnets on our head. I'm even put the bonnet on top of the Godfather hat. It's something, you know. It's about fun, and we have fun, and I just say stay tuned to the next show because we got a lot more in store.
Yeah,
absolutely,
a lot more.
And where can we find you?
Where can you find me?
Yes,
you can find me on Facebook under my name, Craig Connolly Sr. You can find me on Instagram, Craig Sr. _
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. So stick around, folks, because before we get out of here, I want to show you a teaser trailer for next Sunday. We're going to have Amy Crimson from Canada. So
Easter special.
Easter special. So here's a video of her.
Whoa, watch out.
All right.
She
all
is
right.
a beast.
Beast. And Cash Money Simon, we hope you come back.
Of course.
Such a pleasure having you with us. We're definitely going to be in attendance. Make sure you stick with us because pretty soon we're going to have some information on Pro Wrestling R's next wrestling event. You don't want to miss it. For more information, you can actually check out the video and the link to Pro Wrestling R on our website, allaboutwrestling.net. More? Any last words?
Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and keep it locked.
There you go. See you next week.